Hey everyone, what's up? We're doing something super basic here today. I'm going to run through all of the nominees for the Golden Globes, which are happening the day that I drop this video. And I'm going to basically just predict who I think will win, but then also I'll give my thoughts on who I think should win. I want to add a little caveat here. And you're probably going to hear me say it a bunch of times throughout this video, but I didn't have a chance to see every single movie that we're going to be talking about. So some of my opinions might be a little bit skewed in that way. But I did get to see a fair amount of the nominees. Without further ado, let's just jump into it, starting off with Best Motion Picture Drama. So this is a very tough category for me. If you saw my video of my favorite movies of the year, then you will know that I was a huge fan of The Brutalist. I would say that my favorite movie of the year was Sing Sing, but The Brutalist came in at a very close second. I have since making that video, have since seen A Complete Unknown, and that made it onto my top 10. I will say that. The only two movies I haven't seen that are on this are Nickel Boys and September 5. For purposes of this, Conclave has been kind of absent from the conversation for a while. Ralph Fiennes hasn't been doing much of the press circuit, and I haven't heard too many people talk about Conclave since its release. And I really like Conclave. I think it was a wonderful movie, very tense, political, papal drama. But if I'm honest here, my pick for this and the one I want to win is The Brutalist. I think there's a good shot that it could make it. A Complete Unknown might be a dark horse, and also Nickel Boys is getting a ton of love from the press, and I just haven't had a chance to see it. It isn't really playing anywhere near me at the moment, but I plan on seeing it as soon as possible. So my pick, The Brutalist, for Best Motion Picture Drama. Best Motion Picture Musical or Comedy. Now, this is very tricky for me. The only one on this list that I have not seen is Wicked. Just haven't gotten around to it. Not that I have anything against it, but the word has been pretty strong that this is a legitimate contender in this race. I think we can knock out Challengers. While I love Challengers, it was in my top 10 of the year. I think that the conversation around it has very much died down. Emilia Perez could go either way. That movie is very divisive. I personally loved it, but a lot of people are kind of hating on that movie. I think that divisiveness could be a problem. Anora, a lot of people are saying, is the front runner in Best Picture for the Oscars. So, I think it might be safe to say that it's going to win this category. The Substance, I think, is just happy to be here. I love The Substance along with a lot of other people. The word of mouth on that movie was incredible. A Real Pain is also great, but I'm going to go with my pick of Anora. I think that it will win, and I think in this category, I think it should win. When we get down to director, this is going to be really interesting. Sean Baker has been a director I've had my eye on for a very long time, and I would say that The Florida Project is one of my favorite movies of all time, like maybe a top 10 film of mine, and Sean Baker has been someone whose career I am so excited by. Anora, I would say, is maybe my third favorite Sean Baker film. But when we get to director, we're going to see Brady Corbet and Sean Baker pitted up against one another. And we'll get to it in a minute, but I'm very curious who I'm going to pick when it comes down to it. Best Motion Picture Animated. So I've only seen two of these. I've only seen Inside Out 2 and The Wild Robot. I really want to see Flow. The word of mouth on that has been incredible, but I don't know that I see it going the distance. I think it might be a little too weird for the Golden Globes, but I also think Pixar has kind of fallen out of favor for a lot of people, so Inside Out 2 might not be in there. Moana 2, from what I hear, is nowhere near as good as the original. I haven't seen Wallace and Gromit, though I'm very excited that it's on here. That's just a blast from the past. Memoir of a Snail, I haven't seen. I really want The Wild Robot to win. Again, I haven't seen very many of the other nominees, so because I can't rightfully pick Flow to win because I haven't seen it, the word of mouth is strong, but I don't know if it has the backing to actually win. I'm going to go with The Wild Robot. I think The Wild Robot is a big crowd pleaser, and it's also just a wonderful movie. So go see it if you haven't. All right, this one's tricky. Unfortunately, I've only seen one of the non-English language Best Motion Picture nominees, and that's Emilia Perez. So because I can't in good faith recommend or talk about any of these other films. I hear The Seed of the Sacred Fig is great. All We Imagine Is Light has been getting a lot of love. I have to pick Emilia Perez because it's the only one that I've seen, unfortunately. But I am very much looking forward to seeing the rest of these, especially I'm Still Here. I heard amazing things about I'm Still Here. So yeah, I'm going with Emilia Perez. Performance by female actor in a motion picture drama. This is another tricky one. I have only seen 2 of the nominees in this category, which are Kate Winslet in Lee and Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl. I will probably end up watching Maria sometime next week. But yeah, this is one of those where I got to pick essentially between these 2 because I can't comment on the other performances unless we're talking about word of mouth. And Angelina Jolie, I feel like had a lot of momentum going into award season, and I haven't heard a whole lot of people talk about her performance since the movie actually came out on Netflix. And The Room Next Door, I felt like kind of came and went. Almodovar, people were excited about it, but I feel like the excitement kind of died down once that movie came out. I haven't heard anyone talk about The Last Showgirl. I'm Still Here, like I said, has had amazing reviews from what I've heard, but it's also maybe a lesser seen film, so people in the voting body might not have seen it. If I'm going between these 2, Baby Girl could be kind of a hit, especially with a lot of people in a certain demographic. So I think I'm going to have to go with, I think Nicole Kidman in Baby Girl is going to win. That being said, of those 2 that I've seen, I want Kate Winslet to win. All right, this might be the hardest category for me. This is so tricky because I have seen all of these films now and I've seen all of these performances, and frankly, all of these performances could deserve it in any other year. Sebastian Stan just had an incredible year. We're going to get to him in A Different Man, but his performance as Donald Trump in The Apprentice was great. I don't think he's going to win. I don't think Ralph Fiennes is going to win, even though a lot of people are kind of considering him possibly a frontrunner. But to me personally, it's between Adrian Brody, Coleman Domingo, and Timothée Chalamet in this category. Timothée Chalamet has had an incredible press run for this movie. He's winning a ton of people over. I don't know if you've been, I don't use TikTok, but like if you've been on Instagram Reels or something like that, a lot of people are talking about how Timothée Chalamet has since won them over with his press tour for A Complete Unknown. That being said, this is really tricky because I think I want Adrian Brody to win, but I also really, really want Coleman Domingo to win, if only because Sing Sing is incredibly underrepresented in the Golden Globes and in the awards race entirely. We're going to talk about it when we get to supporting actor. But yeah, I don't like Sing Sing was my favorite movie of the year, but Adrian Brody's performance in The Brutalist is incredible. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to say Adrian Brody will win, but Coleman Domingo, I want to win the most. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say that here. Performance by female actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. Now, I have seen all but 2 of these. I haven't seen Wicked and I haven't seen Night Bitch. I think we could take Amy Adams off of this list, frankly. The frontrunner, I would say, in this category is most likely Mikey Madison. I don't know that I agree with it. Part of me wants to see Demi Moore go all the way and take this. I think her performance is powerful and brave. That's an annoying word to use in this category, but man, what a lineup right here. I don't think Zendaya is going to get in. I think, again, like I said before, a lot of people have forgotten about Challengers. Unfortunately, it's one of the best movies of the year, but it kind of, I think it came out too long ago for it to be sticking in people's minds this late in the game. I'm going to give it to Mikey Madison, but I'm going to say that Demi Moore should win. And actually, I'm going back to this category for a second. Carla Sofia Gascon, I think, gives an incredible performance in Emilia Perez, one that I don't think enough people are talking about. I almost want to highlight Demi Moore and Carla Sofia Gascon should win over Mikey Madison, but I do think Mikey Madison will take it all the way. Best performance by a male actor in a motion picture, musical, or comedy. I feel like I can knock off a few of these, not for any bad. I think all of these performances are great, and I love all of these actors. Gabriel LaBelle, he's just happy to be here. I love Saturday Night, but I don't think he has a shot at winning. Glenn Powell, loved Hitman, love anything Richard Linklater does, and I love Glenn Powell, but I don't think Hitman's going to get it. Hugh Grant, not going to get it. Jesse Eisenberg, I don't think has a real shot here. I don't think he's a real front runner in this category. Jesse Plemons, Kinds of Kindness. It's, again, kind of like a happy to be here moment. He's great in the movie. He's great in everything he's in. But that movie, I think, just flew by in terms of awards recognition. So that's why I'm giving it to Sebastian Stan. I think he should get it, and I think he will get it. I loved A Different Man. Again, if you saw my video about my favorite movies of the year, you know that A Different Man was very high up on my list. And I think he just gives an incredible performance. I prefer his performance in this over The Apprentice, actually. Best performance by a female actor in a supporting role in any motion picture. The only film I have not seen is Wicked. Ariana Grande has been kind of sneaking up in the frontrunner category for this category in particular. Being the brutal boy that I am, I want to give it to Felicity Jones, but my body is telling me Margaret Qualley in The Substance. But my other part of my brain is telling me Zoe Saldana and Emilia Perez. I'm going to say something maybe controversial, maybe not controversial, depending on who you are. I don't think Isabella Rossellini should be in this category. I think she has far too little screen time in Conclave, and I don't think that anything that she does in Conclave is particularly awards worthy. So she might sneak in as like a career retrospective award sort of thing. But if I'm being honest, I think Zoe Saldana is going to win. And I think that Felicity Jones should be a real contender and should maybe win this award, but it's going to go to Zoe Saldana. All right. This is a category that frustrates me to no end because while I love all of the actors on this list, there is a glaring omission in this category, and that is Clarence Macklin in Sing Sing. I think he gives the best supporting actor performance in any film in 2024. That being said, what we're given here is incredibly tough to pick from. Kieran Culkin is the clear frontrunner. I think he's been winning all of the precursor awards up to this point. Guy Pearce, again, I'm a brutal boy, so I feel like I gotta root for the brutalist here. For me, it's between Kieran Culkin and Guy Pearce. I think Culkin is going to win. I think Guy Pearce should win. And just going back for a second, while I like Denzel in Gladiator 2, this to me does feel a bit like a legacy actor award. I would have replaced him with Clarence Macklin. I might have even replaced Yura Borisov with Clarence Macklin. Edward Norton, he could be here, but again, Clarence Macklin not being in this category is incredibly frustrating. Here we go. This is like I said before. I teed this up earlier when I said it's between Corbet and Sean Baker for me. The only thing that's going to make me pick Brady Corbet over Sean Baker is that I think The Brutalist is a stronger film than Anora. Even though Sean Baker has more films under his belt that I personally love, I don't think Anora is the one that he should be winning this award for. He should have won this award way back for The Florida Project. You could argue Red Rocket. I love Red Rocket. I think The Florida Project and Red Rocket are both better than Anora. So for those reasons, I'm going to say Brady Corbet is going to win for The Brutalist. You can make an argument for Jacques Audiard winning for Emilia Perez. You can make that argument. I'm not going to make that argument. And Corley Farge, that's a tricky one. I think The Substance getting nominated for so many awards is purely out of like popularity of the movie, but I don't know that that movie appeals to as wide an audience as something like The Brutalist or Anora or Conclave. But out of this category, I'm going for Brady Corbet, and I think he deserves it as well. Best Screenplay Motion Picture. This one has a pretty clear frontrunner, and that frontrunner is Jesse Eisenberg with A Real Pain. He's been winning a ton of awards for this, and it really is a immaculate screenplay. Again, the brutal boy that I am, The Brutalist is on here, and I think The Brutalist screenplay is incredible. I don't particularly think The Substance should be on here for various reasons that I won't get into here. Anora is also great. I'm going to say A Real Pain is going to win, but being the brutal boy I am, The Brutalist should win. All right, now here is a challenging one for me. Original score motion picture. So I recently rewatched Challenger and was reminded just how great that score is. So I kind of want it to win. I also kind of want Daniel Blumberg for The Brutalist to win. That da-da-da-da, instantly iconic the second that it happens in The Brutalist. It blew it, like, I don't have any hair, but if I had hair, it blew my hair back. The score for Wild Robot Dune Part 2 is interesting that it's on here. I mean, Hans Zimmer is a legend at this point, but I don't know how much of a difference between Part 2 and Part 1 there is. I think he was even maybe not allowed to be, not on the short list for the Oscars or something. Right now, it's between the Brutalist and the Challengers score for me. So what I'm going to do to show my love, to spread my love, I'm going to say Challengers will win, but the Brutalist should win. Actually, I'm going to take it back. I'm going to say Challengers should win. I love the Challengers score so much. It really kind of, like, that movie does not work as well, I think, if you don't have that score, which is an annoying thing to say because it is a great movie on its own. But that the score just elevates it to another plane of existence. Original song, motion picture, I'm going to say, I haven't seen Better Man or The Last Showgirl. El Mal, Emilia Perez. I haven't re-listened to these. I probably should have done that before recording this video. I really did love the music in Emilia Perez, and I feel like a lot of people are not in that camp. Hold on. I need to re-listen to what these songs actually are. I don't know if I could actually play these, but I'm listening to them. Oh, El Mal. I remember El Mal. Yeah. All right, I'm going with El Mal for Emilia Perez. I really, really love that sequence and what Zoe Saldana does with it. I'm going to go with El Mal as the winner. I think should win. I'm wondering if Challengers will take it. But again, I haven't seen The Last Showgirl or Better Man. I can't speak to those. I don't remember the song Kiss the Sky from The Wild Robot, but I don't think, I mean, animated films are generally not the front runners in a lot of these categories. So I think I'm going to go with El Mal and Emilia Perez. Cinematic box office achievement. I don't really understand this category. I don't really know how they're, like, wouldn't it just be the movie that made the most money? I don't know. I mean, I'm probably going to go Wicked in this category because not that it was like a surprise hit, but it was a pretty big hit, and it's still in theaters right now. It still continues to be a pretty big hit, and it's also apparently the movie that is the most critically acclaimed out of these. You could argue The Wild Robot, but yeah, I don't know. I'm going to go Wicked, and that does it. Now we're into television stuff, and I'm not going to do television stuff in this video because I haven't watched nearly enough TV this year. But those are my predictions for the Golden Globes. I'm going to release this the morning of the Golden Globes, and I'll probably end up making a video after they happen and sort of talk about the winners and give my reactions to them. Yeah, hopefully I did all right. Here is on the screen, I'm going to put an entire list of my predictions, and we're going to see how many of them I actually get right. I'm pretty excited about this. I love award season, and I'd never really have done a whole, like, solidified prediction thing on them. So yeah, let me know what your thoughts are if you get around to this before watching, and let me know if you agree with any of my picks. Again, there are a bunch of movies I didn't see, so I might be a little wrong in some of the categories just based on that alone, but I feel pretty strongly about my predictions here. All right, I will see you all on the next one.